pop the popcorn.
I'll bring the wine.
It's about to happen.
It's perfect time.
Our very own goal.
It's to intoxicate your system.
It's the work week wind down.
Give me HD.
And pearls of wisdom. Welcome back to the work week wind down. Can you believe we're at episode 5 already? We are excited. Real quick, I just want to give my girl a shout out. My birthday was last week. And let me tell you something. My sis, bless her heart, she made my shirt. So I had to rock her shirt on today. It says Pearls of Wisdom. And just in case you didn't know,
it's a whole clam, y'all.
it's a whole clam.
It's supposed to be a clam. So let me just say this, small disclosure.
Uh-huh.
I watched a video like 12 times of how to draw a clam. I'm not an artist. I just had this vision in my head. I say, you know what? It's my sister's birthday.
Yes, I love it.
It's this whole like in my mind, this purposefully made gifting. I have not bought a gift. No, I have bought a gift like for my nephew anyway. But my gifts are very purposeful. And
Facts.
I wanted her to have something that was from the heart, something that was well thought out. And I was so proud of myself. Let me tell you.
Period.
I drew a clam, y'all. Okay, let me stop. I drew like 7 of
Can y'all see it?
Wait, you know what? Because we're dropping this episode at some point, I'm gonna have to do the whole video of me. But I watched like 12 YouTube and I drew 7 different clams. Well, no, I think I drew this clam like 4 times because I really liked it. But I watched a lot of videos, right? So I was so proud of myself.
As you should be.
I was proud. Like when I was saying, I was like, she made that. I was like, oh, okay. And I did. Like I made it. I created it. I was extremely proud. I called my daughter, or maybe my daughter called me, and I was like, oh, check this out. She was like, right, you get an A for effort. My heart broke, okay? She killed every bit of energy. I was so proud of myself.
Listen.
She said, I don't like your clam.
One thing our children are going to do, they're going to keep it a buck with us. Okay?
I get it.
And we are thankful for our children for keeping it a buck with us. Because what they're going to do is help. Like, for example, my daughter, bless her heart, shared with me that she's like, Ma, I love the podcast. It's great. The only thing is the sound. So I was like, noted, because I noticed the same thing. So the people who are around you, if they're gonna tell you what's real. If they love you, they're gonna be 100 with you.
Fact.
Right? Right? And that helps us build, right? And walk into our purpose. Last episode, we talked about being stripped for purpose, right? This week, we're talking about you. You have the power.
I have the power.
I love my sister. Because like we said in our intro, we might bust out in a song or recite some lyrics from a movie or a book. You just never know.
My mindset though, for that shirt, because I was proud of myself.
What was it?
It's getting kind of hectic. It's getting kind of hectic. Okay.
Oh,
I was hurt. So, I'm just saying, like my heart broke just a little bit. So when I gifted it to her, because again, I was proud of myself. Like I done wrapped it. I done put it in a nice little bag, like because it was a brand new T-shirt, and I'm like, how can I take all of these beads off and like redo it? Yeah, so that's not gonna happen.
Mm-mm.
So like,
and it was made with love.
A lot of
love, and I receive it. It says Pearls of Wisdom. And you see that little pearl right there? There's a pearl right there. And it even has a bow, a pink bow. And because my favorite color is green, she was very intentional. And that's what I'm talking about. Right?
You get
like,
it.
Listen, I completely
get
it.
Me.
I
like,
completely get it.
Me.
And
who them kids? No?
And it has my birthday right here at the bottom of it. Come on, y'all. So,
do you see why I was just so proud of myself?
And I'm proud of you.
How she was just gonna bust my bubble though?
Well, they're gonna keep it 100 with us.
No, and I get it, right? But that's why you need true people around you. That's why you need true people around you. Because she gonna build me up. Because you know what she said?
What she said?
She said, why you ain't just print out the picture of the person? I mean, out of clam.
And then
I said, oh, because I was just trying to bring my vision to life. I was just
She
trying.
burst
Yeah,
your bubble.
she did. Like, sis. Like,
Well, listen, it was made with love and very much intention. And so she made it.
I made it.
She made it. Get it?
Yeah.
MEHD, Malika,
Hudson,
Hudson, David, and Pierre. Pow.
Pearl of wisdom.
Pearls
Okay.
of wisdom.
In green. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
Yes,
Okay.
I love that. I love that. I
Thank you
love
for
that for
believing
us.
in me, sis.
Sis, I'm always gonna believe in you.
As you
We're
should, though.
partners. If I
Right.
don't believe in you, then we shouldn't be doing this.
Get yourself a real one, okay?
And period.
Right. All of that.
I
But
receive it with love.
wait. I just noticed, like, I'm looking at the camera, like,
Mm.
look at her eyes in that green. I'm just saying, though. Man, I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was doing.
You
Like,
did.
you know what? So scrap the naysayers, right? And do.
But you know what, sis? Not for nothing. Sometimes we need the naysayers.
No.
Sometimes we need the naysayers.
Because the haters build us up, right? They don't even know they building us up.
Not that baby girl was hating. She was giving constructive criticism.
No, she criticized the heck.
I was trying, baby girl. Okay, oldest girl. I was trying. I tried. But this week's episode, we're talking about having the power and creating the life you want and walking in it. Creating the life you want and walking in it. And how exactly do we do that?
So, you know what? It depends on your perception of life.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the purpose that you feel you're called for once you get to that level.
Right.
It also depends on the experiences. It most importantly depends on how you want to live in the future, right? What you want for yourself, what you're willing to accept, if you're willing to settle or not. It's about planning. It's about organizing. It's about that insight, right?
So let me stop you real quick, because some people, like, we're not going to be ignorant of the fact that we're living in a day and age, in a time right now where just trying to get by day, right? Just trying to get by day, that we don't necessarily have it within us. And I'm not saying I'm just saying, generally speaking, some people don't have it within them to plan, to think for the future and all of that. So how can, in this day and age, with everything going on with the federal government shutdown, folks are, SNAP benefits are cut. And so they're just trying to figure out, I said last episode, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents and try to figure out how to live life. Right?
Check that last episode for sure.
Yeah, check the last episode. How do you plan? How do you intentionally plan? Even in the midst of all that's happening, how do you intentionally plan?
So I can give you an easy answer as to how it pertained to me.
Okay.
In my walk. And this is for me. This is how it worked for me.
Lay the blueprint, sis.
I knew what I didn't want.
Clock it.
I knew what I didn't want. I didn't have the answer. I was a 17-year-old teen mom. I had my daughter 3 months before I turned 18.
The same daughter that
she got jokes like
I wouldn't be me if I did.
We wasn't even trying to make funnies.
But
I'm serious right now. She did that. Like, yeah, Tiana just made her do it.
She made me do it. I couldn't resist. Go ahead.
So,
okay.
Yes, it's the big girl. It's the one who, she's going to hear this episode and she's going to be like, I told you. So she's the one who had me get a clear perception on how I wanted my life or how I didn't want life, right? But how I wanted it for her.
Yeah.
How I wanted my family dynamic. How I was not going to settle for, we talk about the SNAP benefits and them being disabled.
Yep.
how I was not going to let society dictate the
Come
life
on.
that they wanted me to have.
Ooh.
I pulled up the strength.
Come on.
Not even, now granted, I will say this, right?
Mhm.
Because God has been covering me. God has
I
been
feel a
covering
shout in
me.
my spirit. I
Wait a
just want to
minute,
shout. Go
sis.
ahead.
You know what?
Go.
God had been covering me from birth.
Come
Okay?
on. Come
Do
on.
you know I was a premature baby?
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Which is why, like, you know, I got all of this because, you know, I'm a fighter from in the womb, okay?
Listen, we
I
got
took-
that in common. I wasn't a preemie. I was overcooked. I definitely
Wait,
stayed too long.
episode 1, I told y'all to look at these guns, right? I'm just
Listen.
saying. No, so I was a premature child.
Mhm.
My mom had me, I want to say maybe 2 months early. So I was in a hospital. I had yellow jaundice, is what she
Really?
said.
Okay.
I was like hand size small.
Wow.
I was in like an incubator.
Yeah.
Incubator?
Yeah,
Is that what
yeah.
they call it?
Mhm.
Only way she was able to touch me was like to stick her finger inside.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
interesting because she told the story the other day and she was like, yeah, my baby always been something. I don't know. She was telling a story, but she said, yeah, I knew to hang on because when I stuck my finger in the incubator,
Yeah.
she grabbed my hand and I was telling her, baby girl, I'm about to go. And she squeezed my hand. So
Ooh.
I stayed.
Come on.
Right? So I forgot why I even alluded to that. But at the end of the day, like, I knew what I didn't want,
Yeah.
and I knew what I wanted for my child,
Right.
right? I was not gonna let society dictate how I was gonna live my life. And
Mhm.
all of the stigma and statistics of being a teen
Come
mom,
on.
right?
Yep.
You know what? Oh, I'm sorry, because this was, yeah, okay. So don't even cut that out because I almost did the whole finger
Oh.
on the, yeah, y'all saw it come up. I'm just saying, do not even act like y'all didn't see it because I'm sure you have moments in life where you just want to be like, man,
Listen.
right?
I should have had my mom on this particular episode to tell her
Mhm.
story of being a teen mom. And she was a teen mom for 2 children. My older brother, we're 15
Mhm.
months apart, and myself. She had my older brother when she was 15. And then
Wow.
15 months later, she had me. Okay.
Wow.
And
Okay.
she was 17 at the time. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna,
So,
yeah.
that's my mom. But then me having my oldest daughter when I was 18, I got pregnant when I was 17. So I completely understand. I completely understand about stigma and society and what society has to say and how they put labels on us and what we'll never become.
Oh my
Come
God.
on.
Meanwhile, she got 5 degrees. Okay, no,
Girl.
she don't.
Shut up,
I'm-
Greg.
I'm just no, I said that in another episode and she corrected me like, no, 3. Mad proper. Like, girl, get your life. Just accept it.
Actually, I have 4. I'm
Okay,
getting ready to
see,
have 5, but it's okay.
my point exactly.
I had
Anyway,
3.
she learned, okay?
Why? Because I figured out for me, I needed to be intentional about creating the life that I want.
Okay,
And for me, it was about answering a bivocational call.
got you. Okay,
You understand?
I did.
Last episode, I talked about, y'all got to watch last episode because I talked about my story of when I thought I was going to become a stripper. I told Dick. So go back and watch last episode 4, y'all. But how God stripped me on purpose. Come on. He blocked me from becoming a stripper to stripping me on purpose so that because he had a plan for me.
So she can tell y'all them scriptures.
So I can tell you, it literally, like for real, thy word have I hid in my heart that I might not sin against thee. Right? So there were some things that I had to go through in order to be able to create the life that I want, moreover, the life that God had called me to.
Yes.
Right? I had to tap into the power source. I knew I had the power, but the power came from a source. It wasn't of my own. It was not of my own accord.
Not by might, not by power, by your spirit, God. Send your spirit, God.
Yes, and that part.
Influence.
You did a little bit.
Just a
Come
little
on,
bit, just a
come
little
on,
bit.
and period.
Okay.
We putting her in the choir. She going in
Okay,
the choir.
no, we
Mhm.
not. No, we not. We not doing
It's okay. It's okay.
it.
Because when all the voices come together, you know.
Mine gonna be the one that's messing everybody.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So wait, let's go back to the snap thing, right?
Yeah.
Because let me tell you that this is one of the reasons why
Mhm.
I was able to almost stick up my middle finger and say, forget that. Yeah, I did.
You
Right,
did
like, because
that.
it
You
still
did
start with
that.
an F. But right. So
Go ahead,
I'm
girl.
horrible. Okay. So I was working at a Dunkin' Donuts. Actually, I was working at a Dunkin' Donuts before before I became a teen mom. So that was my job. I actually became a supervisor, y'all. Anyway,
Period.
I know, right? Cause look at all of these skills I got. But what is right? So anyway, um, I went to apply because when you have a kid, you apply for WIC.
Mhm.
Then you fill out the paper to
Yep.
see if you are eligible
Yep.
for supplementary income, which would be I don't
The
think
money.
the
The money
money,
part.
the money, and then food
And
stamps,
then food
correct?
stamps, which they call SNAP
Yeah,
nowadays.
because I was gonna say I don't even know what it was. It wasn't called SNAP then. Like SNAP
No.
is new, like 10,
It was
20
called food
years.
stamps.
Okay, point. Right. Now, granted, I grew up on food stamps. I remember having the book. I remember my mama having a book with the brown, the green, maybe even the blue. It denoted like the different level of currency it was. Okay, never mind. You know what
I
now?
thought you were talking about the cheese, the block cheese. That's what I thought you
Okay,
were going to
that's
talk about.
WIC. Well,
No,
I
no, no, no,
remember
no, no.
standing in the
No,
for that
before
too.
WIC came about, because I grew up on welfare too. Okay. And it used to be the government cheese. Then they made the best grilled cheese sandwiches.
No, for real. Wait,
That
'cause
came in the brown
brown
box. Come on. My mother would put it in the freezer. Listen.
Yeah, because we were stored up.
Come on.
They made sure we had it. We used to go to, I don't know if it was a church parking lot or whatever, but the truck
Yeah.
would be there, would lift up.
Yeah.
And it'd be a long line of us folks.
Child, I don't
We
know
would
how
have
we got
shopping
it,
carts. Well, so yeah.
but we had it.
So my mom was a single mom for a
Mom,
point in
okay.
time, right? So she had to carry her kids everywhere.
Mhm.
But my point to this is you sign up for them supplementary benefits. One, I'm a teen mom. I'm gonna need the help. Them mofos did not give me food stamps. I don't even think I mean I wasn't making no. They told me I wasn't eligible. Probably because I live with my mom and she worked, right?
Okay,
And then
yeah.
Honest Abe over here, like I'm not trying to like
Of
whatever, right?
course.
But I did get food stamps, y'all. Check me all the way out. Nope. They gave me $60. Right, right. Same thing. I was just like, I'm hearing other people like I'm getting 300, I'm getting 400, and I'm like, yo, like what? Like $60. Like when my WIC milk run out, like that is only enough to get maybe 10 cans of milk.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, I was mad, like mad. And then when I went for my evaluation and waited in that office, like, you know what? So I told this story before, like to other teen moms, because again, I want them to create the life they want and walk in it as well, using my testimony as a bottom layer of what what you can settle for or what you don't have to settle for,
Come on.
right?
Mhm.
I went back for my evaluation, sis. Do you know they knocked the 60 down to $20? I said, I will never. I was in that office for like 3 hours.
See, they got it made these days. All you got to do is go online. But back in the day,
When I was young, I'm not a kid.
literally, it was a whole day of work to go sit in the welfare office.
OMG.
Mhm.
So my heart goes out to everyone. Our hearts go out
Absolutely.
to everyone who are being affected
Mhm.
by this government shutdown,
Absolutely.
by the holding on to
Mhm.
their supplemental benefits.
Right.
We have children out there who need our help,
Yeah.
right? Which is why the initiative that we have going on, we don't have to talk too much about it, but I do want to put a call to action that help your community,
Yeah.
give back to your people because we
Yeah.
are all we have. These government rule makers,
It's the
legislators,
politicians.
it,
To
all
sum it up, it's the politicians, which is why election day was not too long ago. And, there has to be a call to action. We have to make our voices known. And I'm not going to get too much into politics
yeah,
because, but it's important that we understand as a people that, we do have power, right? You have the power not only to create the life you want, you have the power to make your voice heard, right? Sometimes for those of us who have been and are still on the margins, those who are the oppressed, feel like that they don't have a voice, that they don't have any power, when that couldn't be farther from the truth. You have the power. And sometimes it starts with making sure every election day you are voting, making sure you're registered to vote. If you move, making sure you contact your local office, the municipal office, to make sure you're moving your address so that your sample ballots and that you're registered in the town that you live in. Make sure you make your voice. You have the power to create the life you want. You have the power to speak up and speak out against injustices. You have the power to say, we will not stand for this injustice against we, the people.
For
Those
sure.
of us, especially who are on the margins, those of us who are the oppressed. I'm going to be a voice, and I'm going to use my voice through the power of voting because I know I have power.
Yes, ma'am.
Some people think that they don't, that my vote doesn't count. It absolutely
It
counts.
does.
And
It
if
does.
nothing showed you the election from, what was it, 2026? What is this year?
No,
we in 2025. 2024.
Which one? The presidential election?
That one.
Or...
I wasn't
Oh,
going to
no,
put it
that
out there. That one.
Okay,
If
that
nothing else showed you, then that election should have showed you that if you didn't vote, then there's nothing you can say. Nothing you can say, because you didn't utilize your civil right, your constitutional right to vote.
And if you did vote this prior presidential election, you see exactly what you got. Okay, and I'm gonna leave that right there.
It depends on how you voted.
That part, right? I didn't. Yeah.
We'll leave it there because we can have a whole 3 episodes on politics, and I'm gonna leave it there.
And we're not. We're just touching on it.
We're just touching on it to remind us
that we have the power.
That we have the power.
That we have the power
to create the life we want
and walk in it. For sure. Right? So I decided, and maybe this will be another episode as well, right? Because for me, I was with I'm married to my daughter's father, the man who made me a teenage mom. Okay. You see the straight face? Oh, okay. Yeah. So that part. No.
Well, he ain't doing it by himself. I'm just saying.
Okay, that is true, but this is my narrative.
Okay.
Anyway.
Let me mind my business and shut up. Y'all go ahead. Go on, sis. Go. Period.
I'm just saying, right? When I got pregnant with my daughter, growing up with, a single mom, I have a brother. We don't have the same dad. And I see men walk away. Yo, you're not doing that to me. I might cut you. I'm going to find you. Okay, no.
Sorry. Ain't sorry, y'all.
Nope, not at all. Right. We married now. I's married now.
Period.
Color purple. I'm sorry, that was Sugar Avery.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
because that's what you did. Go ahead.
Okay, anyway. So, right. But those are the things, right? Like, I'm not going to settle for being a single mom. We don't have to be married right away. But I felt like if I don't push him or that sort of thing, like, I give him the power to walk away. If I put that ultimatum up as, we're going to get married now and whatever, and this is not your story. It could be someone's story. It can be something that you aspire not to do or someone you aspire not to be, i.e. me, right? HD, but anyway. But I felt like if I was too hard in the beginning, I would push him away, and that gives him the freedom to not father my daughter. You know what I mean? I knew I didn't want that. So technically, I did settle for being a teen mom, right? Because I wanted him in her life, and I didn't want me to be the single mom. Now, granted, I got powerful, strong women in my family who did it. You know what I mean? I love them to death. I didn't want to be like them. I didn't want to, right?
Real
So,
talk.
no, for
No,
sure,
real talk.
right? Because they made it happen,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to have to struggle like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Wow. Go ahead.
I don't want to have to like be on my own. Like I don't want to have to beg and borrow. Okay, I'm about to throw a jab, and even try stripping.
And period. Because that's what it was.
I'm just saying, like, no,
I
but
tried it.
seriously, like, so I chose, right? Like, I made that choice to walk that particular lifestyle. Now, granted, they society said that I'm not going to graduate school and
Mm.
that I'm going to have more kids
Come on.
before I become a real adult.
Come on.
They said that I'm going to be on welfare. Y'all can keep y'all little $20 in food stamps, and I'm not. Okay? Okay. Just to let you know. So, finish high school. In fact, my daughter was in the audience when I walked the stage and grabbed my diploma.
Come on.
She did that.
And
She made it
period.
up those stairs and
Okay.
across those stairs
Okay.
and grabbed that diploma and was like, hey. Okay, I didn't do all of that, but I did. Not
I'm-
the semantic.
yeah.
Not the semantics.
And if you did, it was okay.
It was. Because you
'Cause-
know what?
'cause-
I had something to be proud of.
Listen.
Because guess what? I beat a statistic, okay?
Mhm.
And that was the fire that I had inside of me. It was more so I'm not going to let them do this to me, and I'm going to show them. Right after I graduated school, I did sign up to go to college,
Mhm.
right? The babysitter let me down. So guess what? Am I going to fold? Am I just going to not go to school? And not, because I had something to prove to society,
Mhm.
right? I enrolled in business school, and I would take my daughter to daycare.
Mhm.
I would get back on the bus and travel to Elizabeth. I think it was Drake College of Business,
Okay.
right? In Elizabeth. And I would go to school. And I was so good, not even so good, right? I was just determined,
Yeah.
right?
a
So
grit.
determined. Ooh,
Yeah, it's a grit.
for sure,
Mhm.
right? I excelled in all my classes. So much so when the consulting, or we called them temp agencies back then,
Right.
came to do their presentation in school, I was selected to go while I was in school,
Mm.
right? Because I had excelled through my work.
Mhm.
I was getting credit for being in school to work, but getting paid.
Come on.
Okay?
Come on.
Right? So that was my intro into business.
Mhm.
Then I would come home, right? I would come home from from school, or I would come home from work, pick my daughter up from the daycare center, and then I would hit that Dunkin' Donuts job because I never let it
Come
go
on.
because that was temporary.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to school or going to work in the day, and I'm
Mhm.
coming back and I'm dropping baby girl off at home, or big girl now, to my mom, and I'm working the night job, right? Because at this point, oh, I forgot. My boyfriend, my baby daddy, had went to the Navy, y'all, because he
Mm.
said, I want a better life for us.
Come
I want
on.
you to have a better life. So, sometimes you have to pull out the goodness in that person, or they'll already exude it. But, our life back then, you know, I would just say we had a sort of kind of like street life, but not really, because my mother wasn't really having that. So you
Mhm.
know how you just sneak and
Yeah.
do whatever you know about sneaking. Never mind. Okay,
That's a
another
fact.
jab. Love you to life though, right?
Listen, you can jab all day, but the facts are facts.
I'm just saying, right? So no, we all have that in us, right? We want to hang out.
Mhm.
We want to be on the corner with the corner boys, okay?
Yeah, no,
We
that
wanna
wasn't my life, but
That wasn't your life, but I'm
that
just
was
saying
yours.
I was a fighter. I was
You
outside.
said that. I remember you said that in the first
Yeah,
episode.
I was outside though.
Yeah.
Like I
She
was
said I was
outside. I
outside.
was outside.
For real.
But you know what though? Like I wasn't like fast girl outside. I was a tomboy.
I was gonna say you bad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So but anyway, my point is, he wanted a better life for us as well, as
Right.
a family, as a unit. So we had that in common. And we decided that we were not going to do everything the traditional way because it hadn't started off the traditional way. We
Right.
didn't get married and then have a kid and then buy a house. But I will say, me doing those consulting jobs
Mhm.
and staying at the local Dunkin' Donuts and working built up my work ethic,
Yeah.
right? It
Yeah.
also empowered me to say, I don't need those $20 stamps because you know what? My baby daddy's sending money home every month from the Navy, and I get a check from him being in the Navy for my daughter to help take care of her. So me grinding on this end and him grinding on that end
Yeah.
paved the way
Work.
for me to continue
Right.
to move forward, to press on. You understand?
Right.
So it's just one of those things that, you know what? I knew what I didn't want, and that
Right.
was a long-winded answer,
No, that's
right?
good.
But I knew what I
No, but it
didn't
was a
want.
necessary answer.
Appreciate that.
Mhm.
Appreciate that.
Mhm.
I knew what I didn't want, which helped me to press on to what I did want. So
Yeah.
I did create the life that I want and walk in it. And as a result, the last temp job I had was at an insurance company,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
And I remember going to the Dunkin' Donuts afterwards, and they just, ooh, we talked about facets. We talked about being stripped for purpose,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
I didn't look the same anymore, you all.
But she talked about that in the last episode. We talked about that in
Yes,
cystology.
yes,
We
yes,
talked about that, right?
yes,
Come on, go
yep,
ahead.
yep. You're not looking the same. And
Mm-mm.
I'll take that back to the previous episode where we did relationships. You walking different, you looking different. You're
Mhm.
not supposed to be there anymore.
Right.
It was a season
Right.
for that,
Right.
right? I remember, I won't go through the whole story now, but I remember going in to pick up my check one day and something had happened or whatever. And I just was like, you know what? I don't need to be here anyway. And I remember that
That was a Dunkin' Donuts?
that was at Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay. Okay.
Because the caliber of people that I was working with during that time,
Mhm.
from my teenage,
Yeah.
before becoming a mom,
Right, right.
right? That whole transition into being a teen mom, being a girlfriend, pseudo wifey, like, right? Having different goals and different perspective of life. There were things that I didn't have to settle for anymore.
That's right. I love that you said that because in understanding your worth, that was like for me, from what I'm hearing, a light bulb moment to say, I don't
Mm.
need to stay in this same space and place.
Yep.
That there's something else that I'm called to, and I'm gonna go to that. And I might not know at this very moment, but what I know at this very moment is I'm not supposed to be here anymore.
Facts.
Moving on.
Yep. Guess what? That was the last temp job I had because I got hired. I started in the tax department. I moved into regulatory reporting. Then I moved into corporate finance. And with each role came a different level of income.
Come
Okay.
on, come on.
Okay.
Don't let me shout up in here.
You got
Okay.
shoes on?
Mm,
You gonna throw that shoe?
I
No,
don't need
but
look.
my
I,
point is,
go ahead.
when you know your worth,
Yeah.
you know what to move toward,
Come on.
right?
Speak to that though. Speak to that. When you know your worth,
When
right?
you know
And
your
not
worth
settling.
and not settling, you go and you reach for the highest thing. And for men, sometimes, most times, they're not qualified for certain jobs, but they go anyway. That was one of the things that I saw in corporate America, right? So who am I not to step up and go for something? And
Right.
I did not have a college degree. I had a business school certificate,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I climbed the ladder, sitting next to CEOs, CFOs,
Mhm.
directors. In fact, before I left there, like that last position in corporate finance, like I was promoted to associate manager,
Mm-hmm.
big bonuses.
Yeah.
Oh, like, I'm like, oh my gosh. But that is what grit gets you. That
Yeah.
is what
Come
knowing
on.
what you want
Love
for
it.
your life or knowing what you don't want for your life.
That's right.
That's where it gets you. So
Right.
that's the roadmap for me.
I
And I
love
know I
that.
took up like a lot of this
No, that's
particular,
good.
but that was the roadmap for me. I use my stories of,
But there's a sign. Look on that wall back there. Look at that.
okay, so you all can't see it, but
It says.
I'm going to read it here.
Mm-hmm.
It says the road to success has no speed limit. Ooh, you know how I interpret that?
Go ahead, tell it.
It doesn't matter where you at right now. It doesn't matter what you feel you didn't accomplish in the past. Matter of fact, it just means that you can still start now and get to where it is that you're going.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, in the Bible, and I know I'm probably going to chop this up, you can correct me, but the message is still going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Our time is not God's time. Our day can be a year or years to God. But when it is for you, He will make up all of that time difference.
Yeah, my friend, my good sister friend, Ariana, she often says that God is recovering time for you. She would
Okay,
always tell
that's
me
it.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I tried it.
But she would always tell me that God is recovering time for you. The time because I used to feel like as a teenage mom, I used to feel like, like I said in one of the episodes before, like all of my friends, they had gone to college, they were living their lives, living their best lives. And I'm because of the decisions that I made, I have to be responsible for my daughter. I've got to
Yep.
figure out life. So for me, after high school, I did go straight to college. I went to the community college and I did a semester or two. And then I found out that I was pregnant. And so I ended up dropping out of college. But even in that, I ended up moving down to South Jersey and I worked at the casino. I worked where my grandmother got me a job at the Showboat. And so I had moved in with my grandmother.
Wait, so we was playing blackjack?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
I moved in with my grandmother. I began working and, just trying to figure this thing out. But also collecting that supplemental
Income.
assistance, right,
Okay.
from welfare. Now it wasn't as much as I when I was in school, but because I was working, but it every little bit helped, every little bit helped for me. There was a light bulb moment. I was working out. I remember because I was working in room service. And I remember working, there was a little booth that where I was. I was positioned to answer the phones, take the orders from the people calling upstairs and so forth. And I remember, right, like diagonally across, was like the bar area, but it was the room service bar area. So everything was like on lock, but there was a window there. So if somebody called down and ordered something from, the bar, my grandmother, if she worked in room service that particular night, she would work and pour the drinks. And I remember one night we were on the same shift. And I remember this particular night where we would talk across, the room to each other or whatever. And everybody knew that she was my grandmother and everybody loved and respected her. She had been working at the Showboat since it opened, at that point. And um, I remember sitting there and I looked over at my grandmother and I saw myself in the future. And for me, not to say that anything's wrong with, my grandmother's occupation. She did what she needed to do. And that was something she came to love. She met a lot of people. She was really great at her job. But for me, I had on the Showboat uniform, the black pants, the white top, and sometimes depending on the color, it had a pink collar, might have had a green collar, different colored collars at the time. And I remember looking at my grandmother, and then I looked at myself, and then I looked back up at my grandmother over there working, and I said, I want different. I want different for me, and I want different for my daughter. I want my daughter to see that she can live whatever dream she has the power to carve out her own path. But in order for her to see that, she's got to see that. She's got to see me do it. She's got to see me do it and she'll know that she has the ability to do it. That no matter what circumstances she's raised under, she has the ability to push through and come up out of any circumstance. And for me, that was the moment, the light bulb moment that said, I'm going to go back home. I ended up working a couple of different jobs or whatever before moving back North Jersey. But I moved back in with my mother eventually and I went back to school and I enrolled in business college. And that's where I earned my associate's degree. And when I moved back, I ended up meeting my husband and so forth and got pregnant with my second daughter, but I was still in school. And I had my second daughter on December 31st of 1999. And we were on winter break from school.
Mhm.
And I remember one day after having her, my sister-in-law, my husband's sister, came to my house. And at the time, I didn't grow up with sisters or anything like that. So having all these sisters-in-laws, it was like it was like golden for me because I was like,
Right.
oh my God, I'm
'Cause you're the
married.
only girl.
Yeah, I'm the
Right.
only girl, and I married. My husband got all these sisters, and it was great because I felt like, wow, I'm finally gonna have a bunch of sisters. That was not how the story ended up for us. Real talk. It is what it is.
Oh, I got one too, but
It
yep,
is what it
tell it.
is. Real talk. That's
Mhm.
not that's not our story,
Yep.
you know. And we're
Understand.
not as close as I would love for us to have been. In my mind back then,
Yeah.
we should have. But this particular sister-in-law came over to my house this particular day, and I said to her, because I was toiling whether or not I should take an extended leave from school because I didn't have that much more to go. Literally, I would have graduated. I had my daughter December 31st, 1999. My graduation was scheduled for May of 2000. And so if I took
Mm.
time off, more time off, right, the
Yeah.
semester was going to start the next week. I had my daughter. So literally, I was like
Wow.
postpartum basically 1 week. So I asked my sister-in-law, and I said, "What do you think?" I said, "Do you think, I should go back to school?" Because my husband worked at night, which meant he was home during the day. So it
Yeah.
was not like we needed to find a babysitter or anything like that, things like that. I said, "Do you think I should go back to school?" Because I was literally genuinely wanting her advice, her opinion, as my sister, because that's how I looked at her at the
Mhm.
time. And she was like, "No, I think you need to stay home with your daughter." And I was like, okay. And I didn't know the spirit by which she said it. And still to this day, I don't know. Right. And I'm not going to speculate. But there was something in me that had to defy those odds, that had to defy what she said. Something within me said no. And now I know it was the Holy Spirit. But back then, something within me said, no, you're going to go back to school. You're going to go back to school. Your children are okay. Because now I got my second daughter. Your children are okay. You're going to go back to school. And so I decided to go back to school. And thank God I did. So I graduated with an associate's degree in business. I ended up getting a job in corporate America, worked in communications. I worked my way up into management. And it was great. And it was from there I knew that I wanted more. So I had gone out for a job. I worked for a communications company. I had gone out for a job. I wanted to work in public relations. At that time, I was working in
Mm.
marketing,
Okay.
and I was a marketing coordinator. And I wanted to work in public relations. There was an opening. And I went out for the interview and everything. And I appreciate the director at the time. I appreciate him now. At the time, I was like, feeling some type of way, right?
As we do when we're
Right.
younger.
But he said to me, he said, quite honestly, you interview very well. You know your job. You know your stuff. You know this company. He said, but this position calls for someone who has a bachelor's degree. He said,
Mm.
so I encourage you to go back to school and get your bachelor's degree so that by the next time there's an opening, you would be a shoo-in for this position. That
Wow.
was the moment for me that said, no there will never be another time where I go up for a job and I get denied because I don't have the education for it. That was the turning point, another turning point for me. And so that was for me tapping into the power that I had inside to say, I'm going back to school. So
Got you.
now at that point, I had my third daughter. I
Okay.
had my third daughter. So now I got all three of my children, born children. And for me, I started thinking differently. I needed to have I needed my children, my daughters to see their mother going after her goal,
Yeah.
her dreams. And for me, that path meant I needed to go back to school. I needed to get my bachelor's degree. And so I finished my bachelor's degree. And while I was working on my bachelor's degree, the Lord called me into ministry. And in my
Mm.
denomination, the requirement is if you're on the itinerant track that you have to have a master's degree. You must. That's the path. That's the path. And
Mm.
so I had my last year in undergrad. I had also started because I was going to go the 5-year route and just go ahead and finish my MBA because I got my bachelor's degree in business. And it was then in my last year, really, it was my last semester where the Lord had called me to the ordained ministry. And I had to make a decision whether or not I was going to continue on and get this MBA. I had already had like, I don't know, eight, I had some credits in the MBA program. So it was just a matter of continuing, right? Or answer the call and go
Obedient.
to seminary.
Obedient.
And so I'm telling you with all kinds of tears, because I knew that had I gotten that MBA, it was only a matter of time that I would be in the 6-figure income. And with tears in my eyes and like, God, for real, please, can I just finish? And the Lord spoke to my, like, just as clear as I can hear your voice today. Obedience. This is a call to obedience. And because I answered the call to obedience, I ended up enrolling in seminary. Lots of life happened, but I graduated, point, right? And then he called me while I was in seminary, and I was working in the school district because I left corporate and I ended up working in the school district in 2013. Uh, and he, in that time, he called me to be a school counselor. I knew I was going to be in education, but he called me to be a school counselor. So that meant I needed to go back. In order to be a school counselor anywhere in the United States, you need a master's degree. And it can't be any master's degree. It has to be a master's degree in school counseling. So I ended up enrolling in school for school counseling. So now I have 2 masters. I never even thought I would ever be able to obtain, I'm talking about my younger years, 1 master, much less 2 masters. And now, you talk about you have the power to create the life you want and walking in it. So now I'm a school counselor and I'm working and I have a boss who's amazing. I love my boss. She always says, "I'm not your boss, we're partners." I love her. I love her for that. She is a definition of a transformational leader, right? And so she recognized in me from the onset that I have leadership skills. I have always been a leader in every capacity that I've ever worked.
I think leadership comes with that grit that we
It
spoke about
does,
earlier.
girl, from early on,
Yes,
early on.
yes.
And so now she encouraged me. She was like, "Here, I need you to look at these programs." So now that's why I'm in school again for my 3rd master's,
That
which
3rd master.
this one is in educational leadership.
Okay, master.
So I'll be done December 21st.
Hallelujah.
And then I graduate in May. So you talk about you have the power to create the life you want and walk in it.
It's doable.
It's doable. It may take some grit. Trust me, grit, grind, tears, and many a nights falling at the table, falling asleep at the table.
And shedding people.
And you have to, we talked about that in our previous episode, talking about relationships.
Need people who can motivate you, who can hold you down.
But then some people are organically going to fall off.
That. Got that part too.
Yeah, and to your point, you absolutely need people that's going to push you, encourage you. And I'm thankful that I have people like that even now still in my life that's pushing me, because no man or human is an island. Nobody's an island. We can't do this thing called life by ourselves. God never intended it to be that way.
Fact. So as we get ready to close up, right, sis? Pal, we need some pearls of wisdom. My question to you and my call to action for you. Take all of this in, think about it. But sis, and you, and you, and you. Okay, never. Call you get a call to action, and you get a call to action.
Girl, if we don't get to this closing.
Okay, right. Okay. So what would you tell your younger self? Being in this life, this era in which you are in now, knowing what you know now, having all of those experiences, right? What would you tell your younger self?
I hear Michael Jackson in my head. No. Don't stop till you get enough.
Don't stop. Don't stop till you get enough. Okay, that's all I got.
That's what I hear. Don't stop until you get enough. And when you get enough, AKA when you reach one goal, when you get to that goal that you're attaining, you're working towards, when you get there, set another goal. Set a new goal. Life is about growth. There is a perpetual growth process. With my former pastor, Bishop Reginald T. Jackson, he's now a bishop, used to say, when you stop growing, you start dying. So my encouragement to you is to keep growing, keep living, keep pressing, and don't stop till you get enough.
Don't stop till you get enough. That was the closeout. You know what? We want to shout out a couple of people.
Yes.
Right? So we want to do that.
So our intention when we started this podcast is to shout out African American or Black products, authors,
services.
If you're doing something philanthropic, we want to know about it because we want to make sure we're intentional about shouting you out. So the other day I went to the Sherry Shepherd show, and one of the guests, there were a whole bunch of guests. My girl Tabitha Brown was on the show.
Okay.
Listen, when I heard she was on the show, I was like, oh my Auntie Tab is on the show. I don't know how she became Auntie Tab to me. We probably about the same age. But I love me some Tabitha Brown. Anyway, so Tabitha Brown was on, but Sherry also features Black entrepreneurs. And this company is probably easy if I show you this. This company, Baskin Lather. They were the owner was there. I want to make sure I get her name correct. I believe her name is Shayna Rainford. Shayna Rainford came on. She told her story about her sister having a ringworm, and it started to spread. And while her sister was, I believe, in high school or in school, and it started to spread. And she ended up, so she was misdiagnosed, and it started to spread, and she lost all of her hair. And her mother during COVID went in the kitchen and whipped up some things, some oils and things like that. And she came out with their very first hair growth stimulating product. I think that's the one. And her sister's hair began to come back. Not only come back, it grew back stronger. It grew back longer and stronger. And so from that, Shayna decided to start the business. She's a nurse practitioner. She's a nurse, very educated woman.
So that means it's going to be health components in there that will damage us.
Definitely health components. And so they created all of these products. She came out with so many different products, hydrating mist, hair elixir. I don't know what they all are. I literally just got it yesterday. So you see it's still
plastic wrap.
It's still wrapped. But I will be, once I, get my hair together, wash this out, and I will be utilizing these products, and I'm sure I'm going to love it. But I loved her story behind it. It was purpose-driven because of her sister. And so from that, now she's multi-million dollars. And guess what? She didn't have one investor, not one investor. It was the grit and the grind during COVID, and she grew her product. And this hair serum went viral, and now is a multi-million-dollar company. Still Black owned.
Let me see if I could do this then. Let me take my glasses off. You said she didn't have not one sponsor. Wait, what did you say? Investor.
No investors.
Okay, so I don't know if y'all can see this or not.
Come a little closer.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe we'll zoom in. But anyway, my lashes are done by Boss Baddie. This is the classic set, right? Okay, this is for the people that are like our age, because I'm gonna be honest, like, yeah, I don't need lashes to touch my cheeks when I blink. And I'm okay with that. But the ones that have it, oh my gosh, girl, you do it. You go, girl, in my Martin voice. Okay? Because they do look beautiful on people. That's just not my lane, right? So I got my lashes done by Boss Baddies, and she does a wonderful job. It's a beautiful ambiance in her suite. She's located in Union, New Jersey, right off of Morris Avenue. She has so many different personalized sets that she do, and she will personalize one for you as well, okay? So you can follow her on Instagram and maybe other social medias as the same name, but definitely on Instagram with __ Boss Baddies, okay? That is BOSSBADDIES. Oh, and by the way, she my big girl.
And period.
Bye now.
Well, that wraps us up for episode 5. Of the Work Week Wind Down podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe,
and
follow, and share. Share this goodness with somebody else. Maybe somebody needs this word today. Maybe somebody needs this message and be empowered by reminding them that they have the power and that they can
walk in the light. Create the life they want and walk in it.
Until next time.
God bless.
God bless.
God bless. Good night.